Hey, welcome back to the channel. This is Steve, your host. What I'm hoping to do today is show you some basic weathering tips that I think that'll take your model to the next level. Right now, your kit is probably at a factory fresh, with maybe a little bit of chipping from the last episode. But what you really want to do is give it that infield look. So with today's techniques I'll show you, we'll be able to give you something that looks like this, and I think it's a pretty good looking weathered model. So grab a seat, stay tuned, and enjoy the video. All right, thank you. Okay, well, welcome back to the channel. What we're going to do now is I kind of have a method that combines a bit of a wash in with the weathering, so it's a kind of a combined step. So what I do is I get some mineral spirits on a brush, dab it in a bit of a blob of oil paint, and really what I'm looking for is a very thin coat. I'm not looking to cover anything. I just want to make shadows. So what I'm doing is I'm just going into the corners and I'm going around panels. And I've done this, I've done the rear of the model, and at the end of the video I'll show you what that looks like. I like this method. And what we'll end up doing is we will use some Naples yellow and some white and white oil paint to blend this all in. And I think you'll like the result. Got my other faithful dog Connie running around out here with me. So if you hear footsteps in the background of barking, that's Connie. So what we're doing is we're just getting it a little bit everywhere. And you don't have to be precise, not too sloppy, but you don't have to worry about, because it all cleans up with the next step. So we'll just do a little bit here, just to give you an idea of what we're doing. Want to create shadows in the paint. So really where panel lines meet, or you have an edge, or you have an angle like in here, you just want to get it in there. So we'll do the front of the vehicle, and we're gonna see what it looks like. And I think the first guy I saw this was Adam Wilder. On YouTube, he has a series of videos where he does a KV1 painting, weathering. I think there's a number of videos. There may be 15 plus videos, and I'm sure that's where I got the idea for this. I end up stealing a lot of ideas, but I always give credit where I get them from. But that Adam Wilder series is really excellent, and there are some tips to be taken there. Okay, so this is the front of the vehicle, and what I have to do is I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes just to let that set, sort of dry, but let it set, and we'll come back and we'll do the rest of the weathering. All right, so I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Okay, that was a quick 10 minutes, and fear not, I have edited that 10-minute break out, so we are going to go ahead and proceed. So what we're going to do next is, you can see I've got the outline of the panels here, right? And it looks a bit sloppy, and it is, but what we're going to do next is, we're going to take a dry, stiff brush, we're going to just get some dots of Naples yellow on here. Not a lot. It's easier to add more than it is to take it away. So what we'll start is, and what we're going to do, it's like a lot of my weathering, we're just going to grind it into the paint and move it around. So we're going to start here on this, I think this is a transmission cover, and we're gonna stipple it, and we're just gonna move that around, and we're just gonna put a little bit more in there. And you want to do this with a dry brush, because if you've got any solvents on the brush, what you end up doing is you just end up moving it around as opposed to grinding it in. And at this point, grinding it in is what you want to do. And what we'll do is we'll just move it into the areas where the dark raw umber was at, and we'll just leave enough to make a shadow, because I think the shadow will help that piece stand out. And we may have to go to a number of different stiff brushes here, because what's happening is we're still picking up. You want to spread the Naples yellow around. You don't want to spread the dark wash around. You just kind of want to move it into corners and create shadows with it. So we get a bit more on there. So what we're doing, hopefully you can see it, we're creating shadows and just kind of moving that dark umber into the shadow areas. So let's get a bit more. So you can see the effect coming together. It's very subtle at the moment. I'm just trying to lighten it up. Another thing we're going to do is where we didn't get the wash effect that we wanted, and you can see I took the gun tube off just to get access to different areas here. I'm going to go back with a pin wash and just sharpen some of these areas. But what this gives you, it gives you a diffused. It's not an edge. It turns you get shadows out of it, and I really think in a scale model that's what we're looking for. Now, so here we are, and it looks a bit dark. So what I like to do is I'll start with some more Naples yellow, and I'm going to work this into into the yellow areas. And what we'll end up doing is we want to just lighten it up, because as we push that raw umber around, areas got a little bit dark. I don't want it too dark because it's a scale model, and really should be a bit light, the paint, so things stand out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back in with a bit of white into these areas, and that will lighten up. A little cooperation here. That'll lighten up some of our camo paint too, and get that to stand out. So we'll go in there and we'll grind that in. And also what this does is it kind of softens up the hard edge just a little bit. You're just kind of putting that under a very thin patina of white and Naples yellow. So what I like to do is I like to make the yellow stand out. If the yellow stands out, let me get another brush here. Problem is, you don't want to pick up the existing darker colors and make a mess out of it. What do we got here? That might work. So we're going to get a bit of white on a new brush, and we'll gradually lighten these yellow areas. The yellow areas will stand out. That is the theory. What we'll do is we'll keep adding a bit of white, and hopefully you can gradually see the effect. So I tell you what we're going to do is I really want to get the yellow to stand out. So I'm going to come back, put down some more yellow. The goal is to make the yellow stand out, because if the yellow stands out, it will help the other colors. See, it's giving a nice dusty patina to the model. The reality is these vehicles were in the field, even fresh out of the factory. I imagine at the factory, new car or new tank smell went away pretty quick, and dusty and dirty. And a lot of it is up to personal taste. I know what I'm looking for with this method, and a bit more white. I really want to get that to stand out. And again, less is good. It's easier to build it up than it is to kind of thin it out. I've made mistakes in the past where I just used too much, and it was and trying to come back from it. And you can come back for a bit. It just sets you back a bit with mineral spirits. If you don't like how this looks, a bit of mineral spirit on a wet brush will take most of it off, and you can start again if you think this is something you want to try. Okay, let me just try. I think we're about there. Just going to try to brighten that guy up a bit. And I've done the rear of the vehicle already, and there's probably some things that I haven't got to due to the angle of the camera. But this is what it looks like. I've got most of the upper surfaces done, so I can give it a bit of a twirl. And as you can see, it softens the colors. It removes a lot of the brush strokes from the hard edge camo we painted, and I think it looks pretty good. I think it represents a vehicle that's been out in the field. And again, everybody's tastes are different. I recommend there's a lot of great modelers out there on YouTube. Night Shift is one, Scale Model, Hillbilly, Plasmo. I can recommend Adam Wilder's weathering series on the KV. I don't know if he's made any more videos, you know, in along those how-to videos, but that set on the KV is excellent. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to tinker with this a little bit more. Hopefully you've got the general idea, and you guys enjoy the day.